Mr. E.T., Mr. Alf, whatever your name is. I got love, peace. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to talk about the best way to carry your firearm when you are exercising or running. A few years ago I started exercising a lot more, eating better, taking care of myself, trying not to be a fat slob, so to speak. And I pride myself in carrying my firearm 24/7. I don't go anywhere pretty much if I can't carry my firearm with me. And I hated when I was running or at the gym or something that I had to leave my firearm behind. I don't like off-body carry, don't like leaving it in my car or in a backpack or in the locker at the gym. Didn't like any of those things. So I started a couple months ago finding all the different options to carry a firearm when you are exercising or running or jump roping or whatever. As far as my disclosure that I always do, yes, I do work in the firearms industry. No, that will not affect this video in any way, shape, or form. I do have some relationships with some of these companies. Nothing personal, not friends with any of them, but because I work for Enforce with Lights and these companies make holsters, I do send them free samples of holster lights for their molding, and they sent me these belly bands for free. Again, that's not going to affect this review in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. All but one of these belly bands I got for free. The only one I paid for was the Vertx sling. I didn't even ask Vertx to send this to me. I'm sure they would. I have a very good relationship with some of those guys, and they're very, very generous. I was just about to do the review on this when Vertx about 2 months ago announced they were coming out with this runner's clutch. So I really quickly that day went online, ordered it, got it in, and started doing the review on this to catch up to the rest of them. That's why if you notice on the Vertx part of this review, the shooting footage is different because it was done at a different day. Anyway, this is going to be a very, very long video. I'm going to warn you now, there's more information and time spent on this review, more research done than any other video I have ever done. It's not even close. The actual review starts here. I do recommend you hang tight and sit with me because I have some really important information to go over. These are the brands that I am reviewing and the time that the review starts on that particular brand. So if you're only here for one, I'll hook you up and do you a favor. You can go check that out. But again, I recommend I have some very important things to go over first. Most importantly, you need to practice and train with these things a lot. There's a lot more to them than a standard Kydex holster. A lot of them have retention that you need to defeat, and you really, really need to practice and become very, very proficient with them. Reholstering with some of them is very, very dicey. It makes me uncomfortable and nervous. You need to be very careful. So some of them have some loose material. When you go to reholster, if that loose material gets caught in the trigger guard and you stick the holster in, you could absolutely cause an accidental discharge. So lots of practice drawing with these, and be very, very careful when you reholster. Now right off the bat, all of these are good. Good to very good. None of them are junk at all. The only one that was junk, I had a $20 belly band that I bought off of Amazon. That thing was absolute junk. Do not bother. Save yourself the struggle. Don't buy any $20 belly band off Amazon or off eBay. We're going to start with my least favorite and go up to my most favorite, but they all have pros and cons. As far as testing and how I handled all of this, I wore all of them on a run at least twice. I exercised at home with all of them 4 or 5 times. I wore each of them to the gym just one time. The gym has been closed a lot over the past few months, so that's all I could do. I wore them all around the house at least 3 days for each of them. I work at home, so it was very, very easy for me to do that. And then I brought them all to the range one day, and I ran all of the same concealed carry drills with all of them. So I ran 3 different drills, you know, like a 1-up, Mozambique, that type of stuff. I ran the same drills with all of them. You know, if you follow me on Instagram, you would know all of this, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, why wouldn't you? So when I practiced drawing from the holster with all of these to get the time, I timed myself and how quick I could draw from the holster and get 1 round on target. What I did is I put 10 rounds in the magazine. I would practice 3 times, not time, just, you know, practice and get the motion down. And then I timed myself for 7 rounds to get an average and to get the quickest time. So that's where that number comes from. I shot them all with the Springfield Hellcat because a month or so ago I was doing a review on the Hellcat, so I kind of combined both of them. Last thing before we get into this review is I want to give a shout out to USCCA. It's one of my 3 channel sponsors. If you're going to have a firearm, especially for concealed carry, I highly recommend you click the link in the video description after this video is over and check them out. See if they're right for you. Self-defense education, self-defense training, and most important, self-defense insurance. Alrighty, let's get the party started with the Smart Carry system. The outside of most of their belly bands are like a denim type material. The inside is like plastic type material, which is good to keep that sweat off of you. They offer these in a bunch of different styles, colors, sizes, pocket configurations. There is a bunch of different options that Smart Carry has. The chance of an accidental discharge is pretty low because the denim is so thick. You kind of can pull the trigger, but watch, like there's no way to pull the trigger this way. You kind of have to grab it, get your finger in there. You see how difficult it is? I've got it a couple times. There you go, I just pulled it. I've got it a couple times, but I don't think that's really very realistic that you're going to dig in there that hard and pull the grip and pull the trigger. So I'll say it's possible for an accidental discharge, but extremely unlikely. The retention on this one is pretty loose. There's no active retention, there's no strap. I was very, very concerned when I first got this for that reason. I actually carried without one in the chamber and exercised in my backyard. I know you guys can make fun of me, but I did jump rope with this. I lifted sandbags, you know, bent over and picked up sandbags and stuff, and there was absolutely no issue. You do have the potential to carry much deeper with this one than I think any other belly band, just by the way that it's designed. You have a very thin strap. You can undo the Velcro, make it a little bit looser, and slide it down much lower if for some reason you need to do a really deep carry. It's just Velcro strap that holds it together. There's a buckle you run it through there, and it's as simple as that. Besides the main pouch in the front for a pistol, I have a second pouch here on this one for a magazine, and then a very, very small pouch here. I put a key in there and it didn't move, it was okay. I think a better use for that would be like a gel. If you're a runner and you take those exercise gels, those fit absolutely, well, most of those would fit absolutely perfect in here. As far as drawing at the drawing from the holster at the range, my average was 2.38 seconds and my fastest time was 2.08 seconds. I am an average shooter, far from the worst, but far from the best. So that was the time I was able to get with this. I'm happy to say it is made in the USA, says it right there. I have a 33-34 size waist, and I have a small one here, obviously. Probably the first time I ever took a small. And the price is around $60 depending on the style you get. Next up, we have a belly band from Undercover or Undertech. They are affiliated with the Glock store somehow, I believe. They are the same company. The band itself is a stretchy polyester elastic type material, and it's a little bit softer than most of the belly bands that we're talking about today. Under Armour has a ton of different sizes and styles and colors. They have concealed carry t-shirts. They have a huge line of unique concealed carry gear. These are available in waist sizes from 24 all the way up to 60 inches. This would have been much, much higher on the list, probably top 3 or 4 if the material in front of the trigger guard was a little bit thicker. It's so thin, if you don't have rock solid trigger finger discipline, it is easy to pull that trigger. So not saying it's bad, not saying to stay away from it. I'll still use this. I'm not all that concerned about it. I think my trigger finger discipline is very, very good, but something to be aware of, that material is thin, and if you grab that gun, you can pull the trigger somewhat easy. One thing I do love about this is the retention strap. Compared to the typical Velcro that goes over, the thing I don't like about the Velcro strap is the end of the Velcro strap that you have to pull is normally lower than your waistline. So you kind of got to stick your hand in your pants to try to get that Velcro strap. And it's not the easiest thing to do. If you choose to wear the belly band higher, not as big of a deal, but if you're like me and you like wearing it around your waist, it's harder to get to. So this one here is just an elastic with a little tab, and you just pull and move it right out of the way, and it's very, very easy to do. My draw time with this compared to the other belly bands with a retention strap was much, much faster. I was at 2.74 seconds was the average, with my fastest time being 2.54 seconds. Which is almost a second faster than some of the others. I was able to squeeze in my H&K VP9. I don't think I would carry it that way because the thing was like busting at the seams, but you can fit a much bigger pistol in here than the SIG P365. You have one pocket on this side for a semi-automatic pistol. You have another pocket with a retention strap on this side for a small revolver. And then in the back, you have a small open pouch that's open on the top. I have an iPhone XR that fits in here perfectly. If you have one of those new huge Pros, I don't think it's going to fit in there. Also inside of that pocket is another small pouch that you can fit quite a few different things, but a magazine was the first thing that came to mind. So that is good. The only drawback to it, if your gun is here at the appendix, the way I carry, your magazine is going to be like 3-4 o'clock. So if I'm out like this and I need to get the magazine with my left hand, I kind of got to reach behind my back or do one of these. So again, the chances I'm going to need a spare mag when I'm working out is probably very slim, but just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of it. I don't know where these are made. I have a feeling for the price they're made overseas, but I could not confirm that in any way, shape, or form, so please don't quote me on that. But they do only cost $39.95. Next up, we have a holster from Stealth Gear USA. Now, this is definitely a little bit softer than the next holster we're going to look at, which is from Crossbreed. It is a woven polyester with some elastic mixed into it, and then the retention has some Velcro to hold the holster in place. The sizes go from 26-inch waist up to a 39-inch waist. Again, I am a 33-34, and this is a large, which fits me perfectly. This one also would have been much higher up on the list, but the chances for accidental discharges is a little bit higher with this one compared to most of the others. So again, not saying stay away from it, but you really need to make sure your trigger finger discipline is on point. The material, again, covering the trigger guard isn't overly thick, and if you want to listen, it was a little bit harder than the Undertech one to pull, but not hard by any means. So just keep that in mind and be aware of it. As far as your retention, you do have this strap with Velcro. Again, you need to practice defeating that a lot, just so you don't have any issues when, God forbid, you need to draw your pistol. As far as my times, this was the slowest holster out of all of them. And I think it was more me than anything else, because this elastic band, when we get to the Crossbreed in a second, is pretty much the same setup. But I was a good half second slow with this one for some reason. So I'm going to chalk it up to human error and being I'm only an average shooter, but we'll see. Average time was 3.74 seconds, and my fastest time was only 3.44 seconds. Is what it is. It has one slot right here for the firearm, and right next to that has a spot for a spare mag, which I like that layout a lot more. Some of the other ones was impossible to reach the spare mag. That is a perfect spot for me. The adjustable Velcro, just like the rest of them. And then on the other side here, it has the same setup. It has a pocket for a firearm and a spare magazine. So if you want to go dual wheeling, you could, or if you want to carry in different positions, lefties, righties, however you want to set it up, you want the Velcro in a certain location. This one has a lot of modularity in that way. One thing it doesn't have is a second pocket for a cell phone or something larger like that. So that's one thing you lose with this one if that is something that's important to you. The price is a little bit less than others, so it's kind of a trade-off there. These are made in the USA, which is great. They're made right in Utah, and the price is only $45. So this is the least expensive one that I know is made in the US. Next up on the list, we have a belly band from Desantis Gun High. Now this one is going to be the biggest or thickest or widest belly band and the stiffest. And that's not necessarily a con. There's a pro and a con to that. Being it is the widest, obviously it takes up the most space if you're wearing it around your waist. It does help support the weight more with all of that size, but it definitely rubs in and digs in more, especially with it being so stiff. The pro on that is I think this is going to be one of the more durable ones out of all the belly bands I have. The material feels solid, but because it is so stiff, you definitely need to wear an undershirt in between, or I did anyway. It was rubbing up against my stomach and it bugged me, so I went and put an undershirt on because it was just a little bit on the rough side. They're available in 5 different sizes, covering waist from 24 inches up to 58 inches. As far as an accidental discharge, there is really no chance. This stuff is so thick, I can kind of feel the trigger in there, but I can't budge it, I can't move it. It would be pretty much impossible. The retention, it does have this strap that goes over the top of it, so you do have to defeat that strap before you can draw the holster. So again, that's something you really need to practice, especially if that strap is below your waistline. That's something you gotta get used to, because you defeat the strap and then make sure it's not in the way when you're going to draw as well. So it takes a little practice on how to move that strap out of your way. As far as my times here from drawing, my average time was 3.28 seconds. My fastest time was 2.96 seconds. So that retention strap definitely helps with retention, but it does slow you down a little bit. So you need to decide what's most important, that extra retention or that extra second or so, depending on your skills. As far as pockets, this has a lot of good things going on. Right next to the pistols here, you have one pocket here and a second small pocket here. These are going to be good for keys, spare magazines, like I have my spare mag in there right now, a knife, maybe a tourniquet, and then in the back on the other side, phones here, firearm is here, phones here. You do have a larger pocket to put your wallet or your phone or anything. Just know that the phone's going to store vertically and not horizontally in this particular one. These are 100% made in the USA, if that is important to you like it is to me, and the price is $62.99. Now this belly band from Bear Arms Tactical is the one that I was the most surprised with. I thought this was going to be one of my least favorite belly bands, and when I got it, it ended up being kind of towards the top of the list here. The material is on the inside like a neoprene type material, and on the outside is a super soft fuzzy material. So it's definitely the softest and most comfortable belly band out of all of them. I do have a concern long term. This one may not hold up as long as some of the other ones. The other ones that are harder and stiff will probably last a lot longer than this. They make a left-handed version and a right-handed version, so you need to pick which one you want. One size fits up to a 42-inch waist because of the way it's designed. It's just a Velcro strap, and you can feed that Velcro strap. The Velcro sticks right to the belly band is what I'm trying to say. So you can adjust it for whatever you're wearing, whatever size person is wearing it. Accidental discharges with this one is very low. The material that covers the trigger guard is very thick, and I can feel the trigger. I can kind of move it a tiny bit, but it would be almost impossible to get that trigger pulled. As you saw here, as far as the retention, it has a big wide it's a button, it's a clasp instead of Velcro. And I didn't know how I was going to feel about it or if I was going to like it, but I definitely found it easier and faster to defeat this retention than those really skinny Velcro straps that the Stealth Gear and the Crossbreed had. Again, it's all about where you stage it. If you stage this under your pant line, under your waistline, you're going to have to stick your hand in there and it'll be a little slower to get at. So you need to just figure out, again, what's right for you and practice both ways. But the time on this was pretty good for one that had an active retention strap to defeat. My average was 2.96 seconds, and my fastest was my fastest I messed that all up. My average was 2.96 and my fastest was 3.06. So not too bad for something that has an active retention strap. As far as your pockets, you have one here for the firearm, one here for a spare magazine or a key or something, and then it does come with this small zipper pouch that you could fit a phone or a snack in, and this just velcros on so you can stick it wherever you want, wherever it's comfortable. Now, I am 99% sure these are not made here in the United States just because of the price. I could not confirm that, but it is only $22.99. It's normally $50, but it's been on sale for a while for $23. So we're gonna go, at the time of the video, it is $23, and it does have a lifetime warranty, so that is good. Next up, we have the runner's clutch made by Vertx in conjunction with Unity Tactical. When this one came out a few months ago, I definitely ordered one right away because Vertx and Unity, in my opinion, both make really, really good gear. That's why I put the review on hold, so I could grab one of these and add it to the collection. The material is a bunch of different material. The inside that rubs up against you is very, very soft, has a little bit of stretch to it, definitely enough. And then on the back, it's just a strap that goes around your waist. And then the buckle is a like an S hook curve type buckle, and that's what holds everything in place. Now, your chance of accidental discharge is very, very low, and your retention is going to be very, very good because you use your Kydex holster inside of the pocket. And then on the inside of the pocket, there's also some Velcro, so you can stick some Velcro to the holster and give yourself even more retention. If you look on the front here, you have all these laser cutouts. Let me see if I can get my hand under one. There we go. You have all those laser cutouts, and you hook the holster right under there, and that helps to make sure the retention, the holster stays in place when you draw your pistol. Now, as far as times, as you would expect, this was very, very good because I'm pretty much just drawing from a Kydex holster. Very good for me. The average was 2.18. and the fastest was 1.89. And again, this was shooting at 15 yards on a 6-inch piece of steel. So if I was closer, I could have gone a lot faster, but I was making sure I get my hits. Pockets, you have the large pocket on one side here where the firearm is, a smaller pocket in the middle where I have my magazine. You could also possibly do a tourniquet or a car key. And then on the last pocket here is also very, very large. You can fit another pistol there, or again, I have an iPhone XR, and that does fit there. You just gotta be careful about where you're wearing this and the phone rubbing into your hip bones. So depending how and where you wear it, that may or may not work for you. These are made in Bangladesh, just so you know. They're not made in the United States, if that bothers you. The price for this one is $55 for the runner's clutch. And everyone knows Vertx has a lot of really good coupon codes, so you can get them for a lot less than that. And then they also make a full clutch belt that is $73, and that one is a little bit bigger. It's more for low visibility, undercover type work than it is for exercising and running, but that one has spots for like AR-15 magazines, and you could put comms in there, and you can put a whole bunch of different stuff. Again, check out the Vertx website if you want to get more information on either one of these. In second place, we have a holster kit setup from Sticky Holsters. Now, this was the one I was most skeptical about when I received it, and I used this setup a lot more than any of the others because I was so skeptical on this setup, and it quickly went from not sure if I like it, if it works, to being my second favorite and very, very close to being number one. Like I said, it's part of a whole kit. So you get the holster you need for your particular firearm, and it has a sticky material on the outside, and that's how it interacts with the rest of the kit. The sticky nature of both materials shockingly hold them in place, and they don't budge. Let me tell you, I did the normal running and cartwheels. Yes, I did cartwheels. No, I'm not showing you. Jumping jacks, burpees. I did all sorts of things. And while all the belly bands move when you do burpees, the holster didn't fall out and everything stayed in place. This was another one where I worked out in my backyard and I didn't have one in the chamber the first couple times I worked out because it's a SIG and I didn't want it to fall. Anyway, they give you a travel mount. They offer a travel mount that you can put in the car, magazine carriers. They offer ankle holsters. They offer belly bands. They offer thigh holsters, mostly for ladies. I will say this belly band is by far the softest belly band. I mean, it did not irritate my skin like the other ones did in any way, shape, or form. It is so soft. Again, on the inside of it, you have that sticky material in 3 places, there, and there, so you can set it up and run it however you want. They're available in 3 different sizes, from 24 inches up to 50-inch waist, so it should cover most people. Your chance for an accidental discharge is pretty much none. As far as through the holster, it's such a thick material, you're not going to be able to pull that trigger. It's impossible. Once you pull the gun out, all bets are off. Watch that trigger finger discipline. But one of the nice things about this is the only one out of all of them that you can easily take the holster out when you're reholstering. So I just took this part out of the waistband, put the firearm back in, and then put this thing back in the belly band. So not only accidental discharges, it's very safe, but reholstering, this is by far the safest option for reholstering as well. Again, retention, super concerned, but my cartwheels proved that it wasn't coming out. Drawing was very good, just over 2-second average, and my fastest time was a 1.83. Again, for me, that's pretty darn good at 15 yards on a 6-inch piece of steel. On the band itself, so you don't put the holster in these pockets. These pockets are accessory pockets. I made that mistake when I first got them. But you have a large accessory pocket. You have 2 of them, one on each side of the belly band, and it does fit my phone extremely snug. But it does fit my phone. Once again, it's an iPhone XR. If you have the bigger one, I don't think it's going to fit. But that fits in there super snug. And then a small pocket right next to it for either a spare magazine or key or whatever. And then on the other side, you have the same setup. A large pocket here, small pocket here. And that's how the pockets are set up in it. I'm also very happy to say that this is made in the USA. The belly band price is going to go for around $40, and then the holster is going to go for around $30, depending on which holster you need. I will say this, and then the next one we're going to talk about are the only 2 that I'm probably going to keep. The rest of the belly bands, I have a friend Anthony who wants one. I'll probably give the rest to my Patreon supporters, but the sticky holster and the first place one, I am definitely keeping. Now don't go anywhere, because I do have a bonus one after the first place holster, but number 1 is Crossbreed holsters. I really love what Crossbreed did with their packaging here. The holster belly band came in this little bag, and it's I'm not going to read it all, but I pledge to uphold the Second Amendment and cherish the freedoms bestowed upon me as an American. And on the bottom it says, God bless. So when I saw that, Crossbreed had my attention. But one of the reasons I love this belly band so much, it's not the softest, it is fairly stiff, again, which should help with durability, but not the softest to wear. But it has a built-in Kydex holster, which I love, because as far as retention, it's going to be among the best. The Velcro that holds that holster in place is good, so I don't think it's going to move. And then after you put the whole holster there, you put this Velcro strap over it to really ensure that that holster stays in place, and even if it gets snagged, it shouldn't come off in any way, shape, or form. They make a bunch of different holsters for different size firearms, different colors as well, so that shouldn't be an issue. They make them for most common size pistols. Now you can also get a spare mag that's held in place. That's an additional fee that does not come with it. They have 3 different belly band sizes, covering from 25-inch waist up to a 66-inch waist. Mine is a medium. Again, I'm a 34-inch size waist. So that is going to be the widest range and the widest variety. So these are going to cover more body types than any other. Your chances of accidental discharge is extremely low because of the Kydex holster. Your retention is extremely good, again, because of the Kydex holster. As far as my drawing time, my average was just over 2 seconds, and my fastest time was 1.77. On the back here, you do have a second pouch. It is a horizontal pouch that Velcros shut. So it's going to be, if you carry the gun appendix like I do, this pouch is going to be kind of in the small of your back. keys, wallet. I could squeeze my iPhone XR in there. It was very, very tight and snug, but it fit there no problem. Again, one thing I like about this pocket, it does have a Velcro closure, so whatever's in there is not going to fall out, where some of the other ones had top-loading pockets. And while nothing fell out and I didn't have a problem, this one is definitely going to be more secure. The only con to it, it doesn't really have a spot, another spot for a spare magazine that's easy to get to. Again, you can buy that spare magazine Kydex pouch from them, but there's not another small pouch on here. Overall, it's being pretty nitpicky because I think Crossbreed knocked it out of the park with this holster. The additional spare mag is $32, just so you know. So this is not the cheapest system out there, but I definitely think it's the nicest. It is made in the USA, I believe. Everything Crossbreed makes, I believe, is in the US, but I'm not 1,000% sure. I'm 99% sure. The package with the belly band and the holster is $69.99, so it's not way over the top expensive. So for those reasons, this is going to be my favorite. And then this and the sticky holster is definitely something I will keep and wear from time to time. But don't go anywhere, because I have one honorable mention for you. So just because I love you guys and girls, I have a little extra bonus feature for you. The company's name is Arrowhead Tactical, and they make shorts, sweatpants, and joggers, and they're very, very premium. Let me say this before I forget. They're thick, they're heavy, they're really, really soft, very, very high quality. But the cool part is on the inside of the shorts, there is some belt loops and a belt, and the belt is thick enough to support the weight of a firearm. I have easily carried my P365, my H&K VP9, and when I was doing the review on the Staccato P Duo, which is a very heavy gun, it also had a light and an optic on it. I carried that with these, and it wasn't bad at all. I saw these originally. True Exodus did a review on them, and I was super impressed, and I reached out to the company right away. I wore their shorts all summer and fall, and now I just got a pair of sweatpants from them to help stay warm in the winter here. Of course, they have small, medium, large, extra large, etc., etc. Again, I'm 5'11". I have a 33, 34-inch waist, and the large fit me perfectly, not only my waist, but also the inseam and the shoes. They fit perfectly. I'm not a big fan of those joggers. The joggers are the really skinny jeans, skinny tight ones. The joggers, the tight ones, are $100. The shorts are $65. The sweatpants are $85. They are designed in the US and made in China, I believe, just so you know. I think that's what it said on the tag. But very, very cool product. I like these so much, I'm going to do a dedicated video just on these. They're very different from the belly band, so I wanted to keep them separately. But they at least deserve a mention because they are cool products, especially that you use your standard Kydex holster, so the draw time is going to be about the same, the retention's good, the accidental discharge is not a worry, so it's just like it's pretty much the same as carrying in a pair of jeans or khaki shorts or something like that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this very, very, very long review. Hopefully you got some good tips on how to carry and the pros and cons and all the different belly bands, and I helped you make a decision on what's going to work for you. Again, I don't think any of them are bad at all. I would be okay using any of them. Definitely my two favorites were the sticky holster and the Crossbreed, but again, they all were pretty good. But thank you guys very, very much for watching. As always, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you are looking to support the channel, the best way to do so is on Patreon. If you are not willing and able to donate a few dollars per month on Patreon, it is a-okay. Just keep the likes and the comments coming because they truly, truly help me out. Now, if you want to see what reviews I have coming out next, please consider subscribing to the channel and enabling the bell notification. This way, YouTube will hopefully notify you when I come out with a new video. If you want to see what those videos are in real time, what I'm working on right this minute, consider following me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Parler. The links to all three are down in the video description. We do have 3 really good, awesome, stupendous channel sponsors. USCCA for self-defense insurance, Blackout Coffee Company for your caffeine and tea needs, and Dangerous But Good for all of your Pro 2A and Christian clothing. The links to all three or the coupon code are down in the video description. One more time, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.